This is GC Off-Road, back for another video. So the purpose of this video is just for me to do a walk around of everything I've got done to the Jeep so far. So let's get started. All right, first thing you see is the back of the truck. I went and got a Reese brand receiver hitch and installed it. And when I put it on, it sat real low. So I took and flipped the receiver section upside down and notched my bumper. So it gives me pretty good clearance on the back side. I ain't gonna be towing a trailer with this. I just got the hitch on it to help protect the gas tank and have a recovery point. Now, we come up here, you can see the taillights I got on it. They run off standard bulbs, but these are Altezza taillights. I like the way they turned out. Come around over here and you see the ladder I built to access the rack. I built it all from scrap black iron plumbing pipe, welded it all together, and so I can't complain with the way it turned out. I've tried it out, it holds my weight, it ain't tore through the door or anything yet. I've got everything braced up, so I think it'll work just fine. Now over here I've got a Wrangler style gas door, and this one was a little tricky to come up with, but I modified the plastic clip that goes on the inside because, you know, these body panels have an angle on them, and had to trim out the plastic to make a ring that pops on the inside of the metal, bolt the door piece to the outside. I think it turned out pretty good. I like the way it looks. It's unique, at least. I ain't seen it on any others. And you come over here, I've got my CB antenna, and it's supposed to be under the roof rack, but I had to pull it out to run the wiring, so I gotta take it apart and install it up on the roof. It's just a magnet, but yeah, it's gonna be right here on this side. Now up here you see I have a Bison, or at least that's what the sticker says. It's a Bison roof rack. I think it's made in China, and they sell them at like Cabela's and places like that. I got mine off eBay like $100. And the only reason I went with this one is because it come with the separate center section, so you can have it short or long. And I went with the long setup, and it's made out of all steel. On the roof, I put my fog lights on the rack. I've not got them wired in yet. I'm still running wiring harness on the inside, which I'll show y'all here in a minute. But I put 4 up on the roof rack. I think it turned out pretty good. Now, down here, you see I've made a homemade hood scoop. And what it does is it goes and covers up this snorkel intake that I've made. Y'all look in here. It's got an air pipe, one of the flexible air pipes, running up to a intake mounting plate that's bolted to the hood. That runs down over here behind the air box, circles around, and it'll go down into the front of the air box. I've got to go tomorrow and pick up a new piece of flex pipe to finish this off with, and another mounting plate and some more silicone. Then I'm going to seal everything up, which there's a video on me building this on my channel. You can go back, I think it's 2-3 videos back, and y'all can watch the full build from start to finish. And here's another little project I'm working on. I put these little LED strips around my headlights. I ain't got them wired in yet, but you can see in the low light they give it a cool look to it, and at nighttime they trim out the headlights really good. I've got one fog light up here on the brush guard. I'll probably take it off and not run any on there since I got them up on the roof now. But you look down here, I've got a custom grill. So what I did was I took and I cut the uprights out of the factory grill. I fiberglassed it, and then I installed some honeycomb mesh in it. I think it turned out pretty good. Now y'all have seen the Gorhino grill guard, so I won't spend too much time on it. I mounted some tow hooks down to the mounting brackets. Over here, you'll see I got brand new Wrangler MTs. I went from the standard I think they were 275, or I don't know, not 275, 235s or whatever it was, up to these 31 1050s. And I set them on American Racing brand Baja rims with I think they're -19 offset, and new lock and lugs on it. Up under here you see I got my brand new shocks and coils and the short arms for the 3.5-inch rough country lift kit. Now one more thing to show y'all before we go inside, and that is this. I went to Walmart and bought a aftermarket radio antenna, and I disassembled my old one, come factory with it. Previous owner messed up the wiring harness, and instead of tracking everything down and trying to fix it, I went ahead and ran a new harness. So I ran me a brand new radio through the top up here and down, which brings us to the inside. It's dirty as hell right now. It's still kind of tore apart, but up here on the dash, I removed the factory radio because it was busted when I bought it, and I built this fiberglass cubby box to lay stuff up in. And see, down here I got my switch panel for my fog lights and other whatever I decide to hook to it. Right now I've only got one switch designated for my fog lights. So over here on the side I've got a speaker rigged up, and if you pop this open, if you look over here, I got my Pioneer Bluetooth radio and my Midland CB, which is going to get changed out later on because the display broke on it. Just down here on the floor you see I bed lined the entire floor pan of this Jeep. Carpet was ruined. Instead of spending $250 for new carpet all the way through, I had 3 or 4 cans of Herculined, so I took sanded down the floor, removed the sound deadener, and wire brushed it. And I took and bed lined it. It's turned out pretty good. It's been on about 6 months. Ain't chipped or nothing. We had some hot days and some cold days, so it's turned out pretty good. In the back, my I don't know why it's back here. It's supposed to go up under the hood. My CB antenna runs in down the inside of that plastic, then comes out, goes up under the seat, down under this runner, and then goes into the back right there and hooks into the console. You see I've got my cheap speaker box just sitting in the seat right now. I bought a Pioneer set at Walmart for like 70 bucks, and it ended up not fitting the doors. So right now it's in a speaker box sitting in the back seat. That's something I'll fix later on. Then we come back here. As y'all can see from my tools, I've been busy the last few days. Been trying to get a lot of stuff tied up. But here's my toolbox that stays in the truck. Got my screwdrivers and stuff, pry bars, security bits, Torx bits, and all. This all stays in the truck at all times. If you look up under here, here's the storage box I built for my tools and such. And there's a video on that. If you go back on my list, there's a video about 3 or 4 clips back that shows me building this box. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build another one that'll actually sit under this one and have drawers that pulls out. Over here in this worthless cubby hole that these Jeeps come with, I installed a Automotive fire extinguisher. A little $14 mod, so But it's something I'd prefer to have and not need than not have it when I do need it, you know. So that's about all I've done to the back in here. Like I said, this thing's just a work in progress. There's always something else that's going to be done to it. But I figured I'd give y'all a quick walk around, show y'all what all's been done so far. Still got a lot to do, so get back to it with this air compressor that's going to go in the back of it. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other vids.